Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Ego on Break, round 3. So hopefully this one goes off without any hiccups. So I'm your host, Dynamite J. Andrews, and not as always, but as most of the time, Mississippi Bad Man Logan Creed sitting to my left. So what's up, Mr. Logan Creed?
I don't know, dumpsters and phone calls and texts.
Yeah, well, you know,
Facebook fury.
Yeah, I guess sometimes when you're important, things don't go right. So I feel important. So watched any wrestling lately?
Yeah, YouTube.
YouTube. It's a good place to find wrestling. I feel like.
It's better than watching WWE.
Hey, let me ask you this: have you ever bought into all the networks that are out there? The WWE Network, the Impact Network, the High Spots Network, the New Japan Network, the Ring of Honor Network, the Chikara Network, the Fight Network, the Powerbomb Network, all that good stuff?
I watched one of them, that's it.
Which one do you watch?
Fight?
Yeah. That's cool.
Because it's free.
Yeah, you did have the Chikara thing at one time, didn't you?
About 6 years ago.
Yeah. So did you think you got your money's worth?
Yes and no, because they put up a big selection of different shows, but I wish they would have put them all up at one time so I could just watch whatever the hell I wanted.
Right, like a binge watch or something. I got you.
Yeah, I mean that was my only thing, was like I would get interested in this, and then the time series would jump from like 2 years or something.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that.
Yeah. I got you.
Unless you're close to the car, you don't really know the whole storyline.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to stay involved, because they do a lot of stuff not on shows.
Yeah.
Exactly. They had the Chikara 101 and the message board and all that kind of stuff, so you definitely have to stay input.
Like when they shut down for how long was it, remember? Yeah. And you had to keep up with it online.
Yeah.
I'm not a big online person.
And the crazy thing is, their shutting down was all part of a story.
Yeah. Basically for them to make their own facility.
Right. But, you got to see the birth of all the Wrestling Is promotions. And that was kind of cool.
Well, and again, look at how much that was. I forgot how many promotions they put out. It was a bunch, but trying to follow all that crap.
All of them, if you laid them all out, they spelled Chikara.
Yeah, because the show I was going to do in Drew that got canceled was called Wrestling Is Awesome. And I had somebody talking about, you ripped off Chikara. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I'd named the show months before that, but just so happens they named a
right. Well, it was based off of the main event having Jeremy Awesome in it, So
no, just because people were chanting, "This is awesome."
I got you.
That was the whole reason I named it that.
I got you. So that's kind of cool.
I had 3 people from the car you're ripping off our name. I'm like, no, I've had this name for 5 months now. Y'all just now named this thing that.
Yeah, we're not saying this is the show. This is just the title of this event.
Of the show.
Yeah.
It was Drew's Wrestling Is Awesome. That didn't happen because a guy booked a stupid building on a Monday.
So you gotta love that during the week wrestling.
Well, no, that's what happens. You screw up and let somebody else book your building, but they can get you a discount. So you're like, hey, you smart enough to book it on a Saturday? Nope. How'd you become a mayor? I will never know.
Fun times, man. Fun times.
Yeah.
But so I asked you this question earlier, and I'll ask it again since it'll never be seen.
I probably don't remember it. But go ahead.
Have you ever been prepping for a match, and I'm studying my opponent and I'm kind of watching what he does, and you're like, it'd be great if I just set a body part on fire and dove off on him.
There's been a couple of folks I wouldn't mind lighting up, but no, I ain't never asked them, can I?
So you've never really put together a match where you set yourself on fire?
No.
It seems to be the trend here lately on videos floating around Facebook. So.
I seen a guy do a flaming palm strike.
Okay.
Seen a leg drop.
Yep, a knee drop.
A guitar shot.
The guy set his head.
A table spot.
The guy set his head on fire. He had the towel around his head, set it on fire.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So pretty much every damn body part been set on fire.
Well, in your next match, is there any way we can see you light your butt on fire and give them the bombs away?
Okay, might light a fart. That's about it. No finish. That's how you throw a fireball.
Sting
hey
bomb.
Lawler, do this.
When I bend over, you like me.
I mean,
It's so crazy.
they took flash paper back in the day and made fireballs. And these people have taken it to a whole nother level of stupidity.
Well, I think that it's just that
Stupid.
I think we're almost raised in a society where we don't think things are going to hurt.
You've been burned.
Well, it's that magical fire. But they're like, oh, well, if I light the outside of my knee pad on fire, there's no way it's going to burn me.
When you take this and it's full of alcohol and dump it all on your leg, you ain't just going to go, it's out.
Yeah.
No, you need like a fire extinguisher or something.
Yeah.
And the referee goes, yep, sorry about that. Wish I had a hot
that stuff
dog.
is hot. It's pretty funny, but it's online. Well, they should have used that cold fire. Yeah, they should have, but they didn't. Yeah, on the indies, sometimes we can't afford cold fire. We had to use hot fire.
You know what I'm gonna do? I found a way to burn somebody, and it'll hurt for like a second. But wrap your leg in ice, give them some ice burn.
Yeah.
Freeze burn.
I want somebody to get like just some orange and red and yellow paper, just throw it at me like fire.
Squirt some lemon juice in your eyes, let that burn. I'm gonna do the safe way that I know is not gonna torture me for the rest of my life.
No, that's safe. You know what I want to do? I want to watch. That's what I want to do. Can I just watch you get caught on fire?
No.
I don't even want to be in attendance. I just want to.
You ever smell something on fire? That shit don't smell good.
Like I said, I don't even want to be there. I just want to be like, yeah, I saw that online. So when don't people attack?
Yeah, no kidding. Hold my gasoline.
Yeah.
Watch this.
One of our ego regulars. One time I saw him do table, thumbtacks, fire.
Yeah, and got lit up.
So he went through a flaming thumbtack table.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Abel, you're stupid.
Come up looking like a human torch.
So
I did some dumb crap.
If the table doesn't hurt, it hurt. If the table doesn't hurt, let's put thumbtacks on. That make the table hurt. Well, how do we make that hurt? Well, let's set the thumbtacks on fire. That
what you were doing, you was burning all the disease off the thumbtacks, so it was healthier for you.
So I'm sure you can find that somewhere in YouTube lore. So,
all right, well, let's talk about some real wrestling before we get off of here. Lord have mercy.
Oh man, it's special. But
special ed.
I'll tell you what I did this Friday night. We went down to Pearlington, Mississippi, partnered up with Redeemed Wrestling, two promotions working together. Yeah, went down there, partnered up with those guys for a mission trip, and there was probably 150 to 180 people there, so it wasn't horrible at all, and really got to just enjoy the simpler wrestling events.
That's how you promote a show right
you know.
there. This wasn't as horrible as you thought it was going to be.
Well, I mean, it could have been better, could have been worse, as far as crowd size. But, it was a smaller event because it was a free event, so it was free. And,
I'd pay free to watch you.
Yeah. Well, we got to see Kid Valor versus Riot. And I've seen this match this is the third year I've seen this. As it's happened at all three events at the mission trip. This third year we did the mission trip, and Kid Valor has come a long way. Like I was really impressed with a lot of the things he did. So that was super cool. But after the match, Riot demanded more. Like he wanted another match. So out come Wes Warren, and Wes Warren defeated Riot, but he defeated him with a crossbody block off the top. And man, like I forgot how good that move can look.
Yeah, it's Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Yeah, so it's a very simplistic move. I'm just gonna throw myself sideways at you, but a lot of people are scared to jump. They want to just kind of like dive at you, and Wes Warren really got some height with it, so it's super cool to see that. And sorry, there was a hornet. So. It was really cool to see that. And then the next match you got to see was Barry Wolf versus Ron Horn, and former Whiskey Hangover.
Yeah.
But Barry, I don't know, maybe he was just having a bad day or whatever. I don't know what the deal was, but him and Ron had a really good match. And Ron hit a pretty wicked spear on Wolf, and when he did, guess what happened? Outran Chris Black. Started putting the boots to Ron Horn. I know we both know there's been some history with Ron Horn and Chris Black in the past.
Yeah,
some in the ring, some outside the ring. But so I'm not gonna say I was surprised to see the attack. What I was surprised to see was Lucas Frost ran to Ron Horn's rescue. So I know it's the first time maybe I've ever seen it, at least live, was Lucas Frost and Ron Horn's attack. I believe one time maybe they were part of like a faction back in SWA history.
Yeah, I believe so.
But it's just super cool to see that. So it was cool to do something, to give back to the community, that kind of thing. And if nothing else, maybe start a fan base in that area. So
what was the name of the town?
it was Pearlington. It was basically, it was in Mississippi on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, but it was like right next to the Louisiana line. Like it's probably the first town you come to if you're leaving Louisiana.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool. So I really enjoyed that, and just looking forward to doing it again next year. So what about you? What do you watch?
My rabbit hole on YouTube led from Green Ant versus Colt Cabana at the
Johnny
Kidd Invitational.
Yeah.
Cabana wins.
Okay. He won the whole tournament, didn't he?
I don't know.
think he
Honestly,
did.
I did not know.
I think he
I
did.
accidentally stumbled upon it. I like watching Colt Cabana
Yeah.
wrestle. And not always the comedic stuff, but he's a very, very, very talented wrestler.
Absolutely.
And he was more or less screwing around with Green Ant, but he still beat him. But that led to, I saw Johnny Kidd versus Colt Cabana. I was like, cool, I wonder if it's on YouTube. It's not, by the way.
Right.
So, but that led me down a rabbit hole of looking up Johnny Kidd. And I watched Johnny Kidd versus Johnny Saint. Johnny Saint wins, which led me to Finley versus Johnny Saint. And Johnny Saint got the crap kicked out of him by Finley.
The Belfast Bruiser.
And then Johnny Saint versus Regal. And the final match I wound up watching, I told you, was Grado versus Colt Cabana.
Right. Where Grado held a beer and did.
And never dropped it. It was awesome.
Hold my beer. Wait, I'll
I
do
couldn't
it.
blame him.
So,
I want to spill a drink.
well, I mean, especially if you have to pay for it, But
He
yeah,
said, this is possibly the best match I've ever had in my life, and took another drink.
so pretty funny. Pretty funny indeed. But
It's just cool to see these guys on the indie level, and now I'm like, well, Grado has a full-time position at Impact.
and it's the funny thing is a lot of the wrestling is my art form guys are really getting over and building a name for themselves. And I want to touch on this just because I don't know one of the participants, but I know the other one. There's been something going around with Francisco Ciazzo and the wrestler known as Effie. Yeah, and Francisco is kind of a no nonsense, kind of straightforward, I'll punch you in the face kind of guy, and Effie is, let's just say, he's definitely an artiste.
Yeah, I'm
So-
a punch you in the face kind of guy myself.
But they've had some words, had some things going on. But they had a match at IPW's Days of Futures Past where they brought back wrestlers from the past to wrestle wrestlers from the future.
Gotcha.
And it was a cool event, but I don't know, I guess the match got out of hand or whatever. But Francisco pretty much beat Effie until he was unconscious, which caused several people, not just wrestlers, but like the promoter and them to come out and pull Francisco off. And I saw online where Francisco said, after that he went home and ate some wings with Effie's blood still on his face and stuff. So I'm not a real big wing eater, but I assume it tastes better if you've got blood on your face.
No, I like hot sauce. Yeah, blood's not a thing for me.
So kill Effie kill may have backfired, and it was got killed. Effie got killed.
Die if he dies.
Yeah, die if
sounds
he dies.
like.
So,
Wow.
but I'm going to see Francisco this Saturday night. We've got an event that we're working with another promotion, and that's going to be 2 weekends in a row where it's co-promoted. But Francisco.
Speaking of these evils, shenanigans of promoting with other federations and running the same towns and stuff.
You know, things happen when you look to the future. But I'm going to see if I can't sit down with Francisco and just try to dig into that and see what's up with Kill Effie. So it's definitely different, you know.
Yeah, it's walking on the razor's edge for sure.
Yeah, Francisco said, you know, he's not here to make art, he's here to make enemies, and I think he's doing a good job of that. So,
go ahead, Loki.
You know, hopefully that he don't punch me in the face for want to talk to him about it and record it. So maybe we get him on the Ego on break if we have time. So
sounds fun. Fun.
So you got anything coming up? Nothing coming up.
No, go to your show.
Yeah. So July 28th, we return to the Hideaway, Jackson, Mississippi, Fight Night 4. Main event: Ray Fury takes on Pride champion and Styles champion O'Shea Edwards. The Pride title will definitely be on the line. Don't know about the Styles. Got to try to see what that situation, how that works out. We had tried to take the Styles title off O'Shea, as been customary in Ego history. He refused to give it up, so we're going to try again, and let's see. Maybe he'll be more willing and more understanding of, you know, how we do things at Ego. So
we have to do a ladder match and put it up top of the ladder.
They just have to like send the Repo Man out to get it. So, speaking of the Repo Man, this has nothing to do with the Repo Man, but it definitely has to do with guys or the wrestlers from, you know, the mid 90s or late 90s or whatever. But Duke the Dumpster Drosy will be at the SCI this year. He will not be competing in it, but Pierre Carl Ouellette will be competing in it. That's probably a name you hadn't really seen in a while.
Last time was on TNA, actually.
Yeah, when he was X.
Yes.
But, you know, if you don't know Pierre Carl Ouellette from the Quebecers, you may know him as the guy that helped train Sami Zayn and El Generico. No, Kevin Steen. Yeah, Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen, whatever. So, but just cool to be digging those names out of the past. Too Cold Scorpio will be there as well. And what could possibly be a dream match I didn't know I wanted to see, but I definitely want to see it now. But it's Too Cold Scorpio versus AJ Gray. So, looking forward to that.
Might get funky.
Yeah, it definitely will. But July 28th, the Hideaway, Fight Night 4, Jackson, Mississippi, Pro Wrestling Go returns. So,
hold on one more thing.
Yep.
Any official bookings for the Great Southern Eight?
Not yet. Not that we can do. We will say it's November 3rd at the Hideaway, Jackson, Mississippi. And, you know, hopefully we can start breaking those pretty soon. But not right now. We can't make anything official. We have talked to a ton of guys, ton of wrestlers, and you may just be surprised at some of the names you're going to see in there.
You're slower than a short bus with 4 flat tires.
Running out of gas. So see you guys next week.